What happens when a sociopath meets a narcissist? Hello, everyone. I'm VG Sharma, a marriage counselor specializing in personality disorders and toxic relationship recovery. In the realm of psychology, there are certain personality types that seems to draw us in like magnets, simultaneously fascinating and alarming us. Today we are exploring what happens when two of the most dangerous personalities collide, the sociopath and the narcissist. Let's understand who we are dealing with. The sociopath. Smooth talking and charming, completely devoid of moral compass, frequently disregards others' rights and feelings, masters of calculated manipulation, shows no genuine remorse, engages in pathological lying, reckless and impulsive behavior, unable to form genuine relationships. And now the narcissist, inflated sense of self-importance, constant need for admiration, extremely self-absorbed, believes they are superior to everyone, fantasizes about unlimited success and power, can't recognize others' needs or feelings, easily bruised ego, prone to rage when criticized. When these two personalities meet, it creates a perfect storm of manipulation, deception, and eventual destruction. In this video, you'll learn how they initially attract each other, why their relationship becomes a psychological chess game, what happens when their masks begin to slip, how their inevitable collision affects everyone around them. Understanding this dynamic isn't just fascinating, it's crucial for protection. These personalities often occupy positions of power and influence in our society, making their interactions potentially devastating for everyone in their orbit. Let's begin how these master manipulators first recognize each other. When sociopath meets narcissist, the first fatal attraction. The initial meeting of dark minds when predators lock eyes. The moment a sociopath and narcissist first meet is like watching two expert hunters suddenly recognize each other across a crowded room. What happens in those first crucial moments? Let's decode this dangerous first dance. When a sociopath and narcissist first meet, it's like watching two master chess players sizing each other's up, each believing they have already won the game before it begins. They circle each other with calculated precision, each seeing potential prey while believing themselves to be the hunter. This initial encounter reveals their innate ability to spot each other. An immediate power dynamic formation, the beginning of a dangerous dance. Like two actors auditioning for the same role, each convinced they are the star of the show. Think of two mirrors facing each other, creating an infinite reflection of deception and charm. As witnessed a high-end restaurant encounter. She was stunning and full of self-importance. She has a witness about the narcissistic woman. The sociopathic man approached with calculated charm, perfectly mirroring her grandiosity. Narcissistic woman said, "I've never met someone who truly gets me. Everyone else is so beneath us." Sociopathic man said, "Most people can't handle someone of your caliber," while mentally noting her vulnerable ego for future manipulation. In a dating app match, their first date lasted 6 hours, recalls a mutual friend. As a narcissist fresh from Davos, she was desperate for admiration. The sociopath seemed to say everything perfectly. Narcissistic woman said, "You understand me better than my ex ever did. He never appreciated my brilliance." Sociopathic man said, "Because I can see how special you truly are." already planning to exploit her need for validation in a chance of meeting at a luxury gym. The narcissistic woman, always bragging about her achievements, shares a friend. The sociopathic man recognized the perfect target instantly. Narcissistic woman said, "No one else has ever matched my exceptional standards." Sociopathic man said, "We are clearly meant for greater things together," calculating how to use her grandiosity against her. This initial meeting phase reveals how the sociopath's tactical assessment perfectly aligns with the narcissist's desperate need for admiration, creating a perfect storm of manipulation. The sociopath recognizes the narcissist's inflated ego as their weakness, while the narcissist sees the sociopath's manufactured perfection as validation of their own perceived superiority. But what happens after this first dance of romantic deception? As we'll see in our next chapter, when these personalities begin dating, the real psychological chess match begins. When sociopath meets narcissist, how the sociopath snares their narcissistic prey. The sociopath's romance style, charming yet calculated. The sociopath's strategy, setting the trap. Have you ever met someone who seemed to know exactly what to say, when to say, and how to make you feel like the only person in the world? Like a masterful artist painting the perfect picture of love by using invisible ink that slowly fades away. In the lethal dance between a sociopath and a narcissist, the sociopath moves first, laying their trap with calculated precision. How do they identify and begin manipulating their narcissistic target? Let's uncover their deadly game plan. The sociopath moves through relationships with calculated precision, leaving a trail of broken hearts and empty bank accounts. Research shows they plan their romantic conquest with the same strategic approach as military campaign. Their relationship patterns show expert love bombing techniques, strategic emotional manipulation, complete lack of genuine attachment. Like a director casting for the perfect romantic lead, they'll play whatever role gets them what they want. Picture a spider weaving its web. Beautiful, intricate, and deadly. From real life, in a luxury condo encounter, "He swept me off my feet," shares a recently divorced narcissistic woman. "Every gift was perfect. Every date was magical. Then my savings disappeared." Narcissistic woman said, "I thought you said you would pay me back for the investment." Sociopathic man replied, "Don't you trust me after having everything I've done for you?" Never intended to repay. At a beach resort romance, "She moved so fast," recalls a narcissistic businessman. "Within weeks, she knew everything about my life, my passwords, my weaknesses." Narcissistic man said, "I'm worried about giving you access to my account so soon." Sociopathic woman said, "If you loved me, you wouldn't question my intentions." Already planning the theft. In a country club meeting, "He studied me like a book," shares a narcissistic wealthy widow. "Remembered every detail, used every piece of information strategically." Narcissistic woman said, "Sometimes I feel like you are just using me." Sociopathic man replied, "You are the only one who truly understands me. We can't let trust issues ruin this," while emptying her bank accounts. The sociopath's romantic style reveals their true nature. They don't seek love, they seek assets and advantages. treating relationships like business acquisitions. But what happens when this calculated predator meets someone equally skilled at manipulation? In our next chapter, we'll explore the narcissist's unique approach to romance and why they are particularly vulnerable to sociopathic charm. When sociopath meets narcissist, why the narcissist falls for the perfect predator, unmasking the narcissist's role in this dangerous dance. In our exploration of what happens when these two master manipulators meet, we now turn to understand how the narcissist plays their part in this toxic tango. Ever watch someone walk into a room as if they own it, yet crumble at the slightest criticism from their partner? This is exactly what attracts the sociopath to their next target. When a sociopath meets a narcissist, they immediately spot the contradiction. A person who appears invisible yet has deep vulnerabilities. Study shows that narcissists are 3 times more likely to be targeted by sociopaths in romantic relationships precisely because of these traits. Their relationship patterns reveal constant need for admiration, extreme sensitivity to criticism, use of partners as status symbols, like a performer who never leaves the stage, even in the most intimate moments. Imagine a beautiful mansion with nothing inside, all facade, no foundation. Let's look at what this means. At a celebrity restaurant date, everyone had to see us together, shares the sociopathic man about his ex. She needed to be photographed at the perfect table with the perfect wine, telling everyone about her achievements. Narcissistic woman said, "Why did you post about our date on Instagram? Are you ashamed of being seen with me?" Sociopathic man replied, "I was too captivated by you to think about social media," while planning to exploit her social connections. At a luxury yacht party, he wouldn't stop talking about his successes, recalls a sociopathic woman. Every conversation turned back to his achievements, his wealth, his superiority. Narcissistic man said, "Don't you think we are the perfect power couple? Everyone envies us." Sociopathic woman replied, "We are definitely special together," while documenting his financial information. In a high society wedding, she needed constant reassurance, shares a sociopathic man. "Every other guest was a threat. Every glance from me had to be about her." Narcissistic woman said, "Did you see how everyone was looking at us? They are just jealous of what we have." Sociopathic man replied, "They have never seen a woman like you," while messaging her wealthy friends. The narcissist's approach to love reveals their core nature. They don't seek partnership, they seek an audience and validation, making them perfect targets for sociopathic manipulation. But what happens when these two distinct styles of manipulation collide? In our next chapter, we'll explore the crucial difference between them that make their romantic encounters so explosively dangerous. When sociopath meet narcissist, the battle of two master manipulators, the power struggle, two masters of manipulation clash. When the honeymoon phase ends between a sociopath and a narcissist, it's like watching two master illusionists suddenly realize they are both performing tricks on each other. What happens next? A fascinating and dangerous battle of wills begins. Research reveals that when these personalities types become aware of each other's true nature, 85% of their relationships transform into intense power struggles within first year, creating a psychological battlefield that nobody wins. Their power struggle manifests as calculated moves and counter moves, escalating manipulation tactics, a constant battle for dominance, like two chess masters who realize they have both been cheating but keep playing while trying to expose the other. Think of two mirrors reflecting lies back and forth. each trying to crack the other surface first. Let's look at what this means. A luxury apartment couple. The mind games became exhausting. Shares a mutual friend about their relationship. Narcissistic woman said, I told everyone about your successful businesses. Sociopathic man replied, interesting, since I just let slip to your friends about your bankruptcy. Smiling while delivering the blow. In a high society marriage, it was like watching psychological warfare over breakfast because their housekeeper. Narcissistic man said, I made you who you are in this city. Sociopathic woman replied, funny, I have proof showing exactly who you really are, while holding evidences of his frauds. A country club couple, their relationship became a public spectacle, shares their therapist. Narcissistic woman said, everyone loves me more than you at the club. Sociopathic man replied, they love the secret recordings of your real opinions about them too. Already planning the social destruction. This phase reveals how the initial attraction transforms into a deadly game of emotional chess, where both players realize they are facing an equally skilled opponent. But what happens when this power struggle intensifies and the relationship becomes a battleground? In our next chapter, we'll explore how their toxic dance evolves into a destructive spiral that affects everyone around them. When sociopath meets narcissist inside their toxic relationship dance, their relationship dynamic unfolds. As these two master manipulators continue their relationship, it transforms into something darker, like watching two scorpions in a jar. Both poised to strike, both convinced they'll win in the final round. Studies show the relationship between sociopath and narcissist become increasingly volatile over time, with daily power plays and emotional warfare turning even simple interactions into psychological battlefields. Their toxic dance includes elaborate schemes of mutual destruction, weaponizing shared secrets, using mutual connections against each other, like expert poisoners sharing a meal, each believing they have built immunity to others' venom. Imagine two puppet masters both trying to pull each other's string while denying they are puppets themselves. Let's look at what this means. A wealthy suburban couple. Their dinner parties became warfare, reveals their close friend. Narcissistic woman said, darling, tell everyone about your amazing childhood. Oh wait, wasn't that all lies? Sociopathic man replies, almost as fascinating as your age and previous marriages, while showing photos on his phone. A prominent social media couple. Their relationship became a public performance of private pain, shares their marriage counselor. Narcissistic man said, I made you famous on Instagram. Sociopathic woman replied, shame about those DMs I saved showing how you bought your followers. Already drafting an expose. A jet-setting couple. They weaponized everything, recalls their private chef. Narcissistic woman said, everyone thinks we are the perfect couple. Sociopathic man replies, let's see what they think after your family learns where their investment really went. Holding evidence of her schemes. This stage of relationship reveals how their mutual manipulation creates a toxic ecosystem where truth becomes currency and secret becomes weapons. But what happens when this poisonous dance reaches its breaking point? In our next chapter, we'll explore the inevitable explosion when these two personalities finally push each other too far. When sociopath meets narcissist, the inevitable relationship explosion. When manipulation meets its match. Every toxic relationship has a breaking point. But when a sociopath and narcissist reach theirs, it's like watching a supernova. Spectacular, destructive, and impossible to contain. Research shows their relationship typically implode within 18 months, with ending in catastrophic, emotional, or financial damage. The detonation is rarely quiet. It's a calculated destruction designed for maximum impact. This explosion manifests as strategic character assassination, calculated public humiliation, devastating revenge schemes, like true demolition experts who have rigged each other's lives with explosives, both holding detonators. Picture two master archers, both releasing their arrows simultaneously, each aimed at other's heart. Real life examples. A high profile divorce, their separation shook the entire social circle, reveals their divorce mediator. Narcissistic woman said, "I'll tell everyone about your fake business empire." Sociopathic man replies, "Go ahead. I've already sent your private videos to all our friends," having planned this months ago. In a luxury resort breakup, it was like watching a perfectly orchestrated disaster, shares their vacation companion. Narcissistic man said, "You can't leave me. I'm the best thing that ever happened to you." Sociopathic woman replies, "Check your phone. I have just forwarded your offshore account details to the IRS," while calmly sipping champagne. A charity gala meltdown. They choose the biggest event of the year to destroy each other, recalls a witness. Narcissistic woman said, "Everyone will finally see your true colors." Sociopathic man replied, "Too late. I have already shown them your true bank statements," having timed this revelation perfectly. The implosion phase reveals how both personalities' need for winning overrides any concern for collateral damage, creating a devastating finale to their toxic dance. But what happens to everyone caught in the blast radius of this relationship nuclear winter? In our final chapter, we'll explore the lasting aftermath and the trail of destruction these two personalities leave behind. When sociopath meets narcissist, the destruction they leave behind, the aftermath, counting the casualties. After a sociopath and narcissist finish their destructive dance, they leave behind a wasteland of emotional and financial debris. Like a hurricane meeting a tornado, the damage extends far beyond their immediate circle. Studies reveal the aftermath of these toxic unions affect an average of 15 to 20 people directly, with ripple effects impacting entire social networks, businesses, and families for years to come. The destruction includes shattered social circles, devastating financial losses, long-lasting emotional trauma. Like archaeologists examining the ruins of an ancient battle, observers piece together the full extent of destruction only after the dust settles. Imagine a game board where all the pieces are broken and everyone who played is wounded. Let's look at what this means. A prestigious neighborhood fallout. A year later, people still whisper about it, shares their former neighbor. Narcissistic woman said, "I lost all my friends because of your lies." Sociopathic man replied, "That was the point, but you lost your reputation too." Already pursuing his next target, a social media empire collapse. Their followers watched it all crumble in real time, reveals their content manager. Narcissistic man said, "You destroyed everything we built together." Sociopathic woman replied, "No, I just revealed what you built was fake," while launching her new brand at a shared business venture wreckage. Neither of them cared about the employees who lost everything, states their former partner. Narcissistic woman said, "You'll never work in this industry again." Sociopathic man replied, "Neither will you. I made sure of that," already establishing a new identity elsewhere. The aftermath reveals how these toxic relationships create lasting damage that extend far beyond the two personalities involved, affecting innocent bystanders and entire communities. Understanding these patterns isn't just fascinating, it's crucial for of protection. In recognizing these signs early, we can avoid becoming collateral damage in their destructive dance. As we conclude this exploration into what happens when a sociopath meets a narcissist, I want to speak directly to those of you who found yourself nodding, maybe even crying, as you recognize these patterns in your own relationships. Whether you are currently caught between these personalities, have recently escaped, or looking back on your past experiences, your feelings are valid. Remember, this isn't just about recognizing patterns, it's about reclaiming your power. You're not too sensitive or imagining things. The manipulation you have experienced is real, and you deserve support. In the description below, you'll find our counseling number. When you call, simply share where you are in your journey. Maybe you're trying to understand if you're caught between these two personalities. Perhaps you're struggling to break free from such a relationship. Or you might be healing from the aftermath of their destruction. That's all we need to hear to provide the specific guidance you need. No judgment, just support. Because you deserve peace. Because your relationship should uplift, not destroy. Because your story isn't over. Change starts with one call. Your future self will thank you for taking this step today. Remember, there is a life after toxic love. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. We'll explore what happens when an empath gets caught between a sociopath and a narcissist. Because sometimes understanding the aftermath is just as important as recognizing the signs. And remember, you can and you will heal. Just start today. Thank you.